When Caitlin Clark walked onto the tee box at the Annika Pro-Am in Florida, most people in that crowd thought they knew what they were about to see. A few fun swings, some smiles for the cameras, a nice charity event, and then back to basketball. Instead, they watched something the WNBA front office probably didn't want to think too hard about. They watched their biggest star walk into another sport and steal the entire show in a single morning. From the very first tee shot, it was obvious this wasn't a token appearance. The stands were already packed around 7 a.m., with fans leaning over ropes, phones up, just to see a basketball player hit a golf ball. According to LPGA coverage from the event, Clark drew one of the biggest Pro-Am crowds they have seen at Pelican Golf Club in Bel Air, Florida. People were not there for a random celebrity cameo. They were there for Caitlin, and she gave them exactly what they came for. Long, smooth drives, calm pre-shot routines, a long putt that rolled across the green and dropped like she had been doing this her whole life. Clips of that putt went viral within hours. Golf channels, WNBA pages, and mainstream outlets all pushed the same short video. Caitlin Clark, in a golf polo instead of a jersey, reading a tricky putt and knocking it in like a veteran. If you didn't know anything about her basketball career, you would have thought she was just another rising golf star. Here is where it gets uncomfortable for the WNBA and some of her rivals. This wasn't a one-off, cute little crossover moment. This was another reminder that Caitlin's value doesn't stop at the three-point line. She can walk into a completely different sport, instantly move the needle, and make that sport ask itself, how do we keep her around? According to LPGA officials, Clark first played this Pro-Am in 2024, then came back again in 2025 as a Gainbridge brand ambassador. They knew exactly what they were doing inviting her back. She doesn't just draw crowds, she skews the demographics. Suddenly you have younger fans, WNBA fans, and even casual sports fans watching an LPGA highlight reel because she is in it. That is the very definition of crossover power, and you could feel that power in the way the round unfolded. At first, the vibe was light. People were laughing about whether she would top her first drive or send it into the trees. Instead, she stepped up, took a smooth swing, and striped it right down the fairway. The reaction from the gallery was not polite applause. It was the kind of roar you hear after a big shot in a playoff game. From that moment on, the mood shifted. This was not a basketball player trying golf. This was an athlete competing. As the round went on, she started stacking moments. Solid approaches, confident putts, easy smiles between shots with Nelly Korda and the rest of her group. You could see how comfortable she was in that environment. She wasn't forcing anything. She wasn't playing it up for the cameras. It was just the same competitive engine that carried her through Iowa and into the WNBA, dropped onto a different field. Meanwhile, online, the comparison started. Fans joked that she was about to add LPGA Rookie of the Year to her resume. Others said they finally had a reason to watch women's golf. Some were just stunned at how natural her swing looked for someone who spends most of her time reading pick-and-roll coverages instead of greens. A few golf fans pointed out that she has actually been playing since she was a kid and reportedly played other Pro-Ams even before this LPGA run. None of that made it less impressive. It just made the story feel even more inevitable. Now think about what this does inside the WNBA. You already have veterans who feel like they have been grinding for years with limited off-court opportunities. They win MVPs, win championships, put in work overseas, and still watch brands flock to the newcomer who just arrived. Aja Wilson, for example, has been one of the faces of the league for years. When she drops a pointed tweet right after a new Caitlin storyline, fans instantly connect the dots. Even when she jokes that she was only kidding, everyone knows there is real frustration underneath. From their perspective, it probably feels like the deck is stacked. They dominated when the cameras were barely paying attention. Now someone else shows up, breaks every viewership record, lands the biggest sneaker deal in women's basketball, and then casually jumps into golf and gets another wave of nationwide coverage. That does not mean they dislike her as a person. It just means the system is rewarding visibility more than seniority, and Caitlin has visibility nobody else can match right now. At the same time, the league executives are in a strange spot. Publicly, they celebrate everything she does. They repost the golf highlights. They lean into the idea of her as a multi-sport ambassador for women's athletics. It looks great on social media. It makes the league feel bigger than basketball. But behind closed doors, there has to be a quieter conversation. The more proof there is that Caitlin does not need the WNBA to stay relevant, the more pressure there is on the WNBA to keep her happy. Remember, this is the same ecosystem where players have been talking about alternative leagues, overseas money, and new projects promising life-changing salaries. We already saw debates about hypothetical Project B-type leagues offering multi-million-dollar deals in equity. Even if the exact numbers get exaggerated online, the concept is real. There are investors out there who see what Caitlin does for ratings and ticket sales and are wondering what would happen if they built a whole product around that level of star power. Now layer in golf. If an LPGA Pro-Am with Caitlin can draw extra cameras, extra fans, and extra coverage, imagine what a more formal crossover event would look like. Reports have already mentioned interest in bringing her back year after year. It is not hard to picture a charity shootout, a mixed team event, or a made-for-TV special built around her, an LPGA star like Nelly Korda, and a couple of NBA players who also love golf. For the LPGA, that is a marketing dream. For the WNBA, it is another reminder that they are renting her time, not owning her narrative. The most interesting part is how she handles all of this. She doesn't clap back at critics. She doesn't send spicy quotes to reporters. She rarely even acknowledges the drama directly. When she talks about golf, she sounds like someone who just genuinely enjoys the game. She has said that golf relaxes her and challenges her mentally in a different way. You can see that in her body language. Even with thousands of people watching every shot, she looks loose, laughing with her caddies, taking in the moment. That calm is exactly what brands love. No public meltdowns, no endless Twitter arguments, just production, star power, and a steady personality that makes sponsors feel safe. While other players are fighting in comments, she is quietly stacking more opportunities. According to coverage around this year's event, she is already a brand ambassador for the tournament's sponsor. It would not be surprising if more golf-related deals appear over the next year or two. For her rivals, that has to be exhausting. They are trying to beat her on the court, hold on to their own endorsement deals, and keep their fan bases engaged, while she is adding an entirely new lane on top of all of that. Every time she steps into another space and it blows up, it reinforces a simple, painful reality. She is not just another player, she is a platform. And once a league or brand realizes someone is a platform, they treat everyone else differently. This does not mean the WNBA is doomed or that every veteran is secretly plotting an exit. It does mean the league has to be smarter. If they lean too hard into the Caitlin effect without lifting others up, resentment will grow. If they ignore her crossover potential because they are afraid of losing control, they will leave money and momentum on the table. The balance is tricky. They need to let her be as big as she can be, while also giving other stars real chances to shine. There is another angle here that often gets overlooked. For fans, especially young girls watching from home, this is actually the dream scenario. They are not seeing a world where you have to choose one lane and stay in it forever. They are seeing someone play in front of packed arenas all summer, then walk onto a golf course and make national news in the offseason. That kind of visibility doesn't just sell jerseys, it expands what kids believe is possible. At the same time, you can understand why some WNBA players feel like they are being turned into background characters in someone else's story. They worked for years to keep the league alive when ratings were modest and sponsorships were scarce. Now, just when the money, attention, and coverage finally arrive, most of the spotlight is tied to one name. It is a real tension, and pretending it does not exist would be dishonest. So where does this go next? According to recent reports, the LPGA was thrilled with the response to Caitlin's appearance and is very open to making this a recurring thing. WNBA numbers still spike when she is featured, even when her team is not in the finals. Social media goes crazy every time she does something mildly unexpected that suggests a future where the question is not, will she stick to one sport, but how many spaces can she dominate at once? The WNBA can either see that as a threat or as a challenge. If they step up, raise pay, fix the travel issues, and genuinely promote all of their stars, they can ride this wave into a new era. If they fall back and hope that Caitlyn's presence alone will solve everything, they risk watching her influence spill into other arenas while the league falls behind. So I want to hear from you. Do you think Caitlin Clark's growing presence in golf is harmless off-season fun? Or is it a warning sign that her future might stretch far beyond the WNBA's control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this is one of those moments where fan perspective really matters. And if you want more honest breakdowns of the business and drama around women's sports, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive.